Huang!
Home point updated.
Never go creeks.
These Taiwan mountains, they look beautiful, don't they? Rich, vibrant, full of life. But beneath the beauty lies a raw, unforgiving wilderness. A wilderness that demands respect, preparation, and the right kind of navigation. Because as you are about to learn, a hiker trusting only their good sense of direction in these mountains can quickly find themselves in a nightmare, with rescue efforts leading to nowhere. This story begins with a simple screenshot. Just before sunset on October 16, 2024, a hiker, we will call Mr. Huang, sent this image to his wife, a Google Maps screenshot, showing his location deeper in the woods, off the trail with a message that he is lost and cannot find his way. The battery status indicated his phone was about to die. His phone eventually went dead around 6:20 p.m. And by 9 p.m., when he hadn't returned home, his wife became deeply concerned and called the emergency number 119. By morning, search and rescue teams were mobilized. Now, on paper, this looks like a straightforward search, right? We have coordinates. SAR arrives at the exact spot, ready to bring him home.
This is the shit. Here is one way, here is another way.
Except he wasn't there. Not even close. Which immediately tells us the first crucial mistake was made. When you have called for help, when somebody knows your location, you stay put, period. Moving only makes a difficult situation nearly impossible for rescuers. But Mr. Huang, as we soon learn, made a critical mistake by not waiting. Mr. Huang, it turns out, is a man who trusts his good sense of direction over technology when navigating the mountains. According to his colleagues, he is generally impatient and the type who would try to figure out things out himself if lost. And to be fair, he does hike often. His Facebook is full of selfies from mountain trips. Understanding a missing hiker's mentality and skills is crucial for my search preparation.
Wrong!
Most missing hiker cases happen because hikers get lost or have an accident. This understanding helps me determine which scenario is more likely, and also helps me predict their actions when they are under the stress of being lost, and estimate the most probable search direction. Back to the Huang's case. He drove his scooter along a bad forest road to the trail entry, a journey that was already not so safe. This scooter was later found by search and rescue.
Can you come here with motorbike? So can we drive around? Right, okay.
He then hiked up Minhai Mountain, alone to see the sunrise, with no headlamp, no GPS, no bag, wearing rubber slippers and a plastic water bottle in hand. That's an Android phone, which, as expected, discharged it when he needed it most. This brings us to a critical point. We have seen it countless times. Hikers become comfortable on common trails and are unprepared for the unexpected challenges that can easily happen.
I have to bypass this. It's not big. Small path. So expectation is right.
Mr. Huang's good sense of direction led him to believe he could always find his way.
Wrong!
And that's where things usually go wrong, especially in the mid-altitude Taiwan mountains.
Sometimes I'm right. Here is old road. You cannot see it on the map, but you have to believe it's there. Wow, maybe 100 meters lower. Yeah, I have fear from creeks, but let's do it. This is really from hunters. Wow, that's crazy.
Google Maps is fantastic for driving directions or
my
finding
God.
a place with the best stinky tofu. But for navigating the raw, wild terrain of Taiwan mountains, it's simply useless. It doesn't show you the real trails, the elevation changes, or the dangers. This is where an app like mappy.com with downloaded offline topo maps or any advanced hiking app becomes your lifesaver.
This is from animals.
Nowadays, your smartphone is almost always with you. Just make sure you have downloaded offline topo maps and know how to use it when needed.
What the fuck? Huang! That's too long.
Home point updated.
So, Mr. Huang's phone died, leaving him truly lost in the mountains. This brings us to his second, even more critical mistake, one we see often, the desperate descent. Instead of preparing for the night there and waiting for rescue, Huang decided to go down as many other lost hikers did. The way down, often in a random direction, can seem like the best and easiest option when lost. But in Taiwan, this is always the most dangerous way. With this decision, he would need to descend a rough 1000 meters of unknown terrain straight into unforgiving river gorge with many waterfalls, eventually reaching the 70 meters high Meyagu waterfall. Why is this such a common and fatal mistake? Because when lost in mountains, going down and following streams or rivers often seems like the best solution. This is advice you might even hear from survival experts on TV who claim it's a good strategy for finding your way back to the civilization or rescue.
This is your pot for cooking.
However, in Taiwan's mountains, this is always the most dangerous way. Streams and riverbeds quickly become your trap with a system of waterfalls and steep cliffs. You get trapped, injured, die, or even worse, never be found. Staying put, even for a night, significantly increases your chances of being found. Moving, especially downhill into a creek, drastically reduces them. It makes the search exponentially harder or actually impossible. Mr. Huang was reported missing, and a large-scale search and rescue operation quickly began. Even with advanced drones, thermal cameras, and searching dogs, the incredibly challenging terrain proved too difficult. Meanwhile, colleagues of the missing hiker asked me for help. I promised to help, studied the case thoroughly, and set out driving at 3 AM to be ready to start my search before 7 AM. In my experience, many lost hikers choose to descend. So, I focused on understanding how to access the riverbed from the side. The chance he was trapped above or between waterfalls was very high. Also, it was already the third day, and the highest chances of finding a hiker alive are usually within 72 hours. For my own safety, I always prefer climbing up in a difficult terrain because it's slightly safer than descending.
Huang!
I also carried all the necessary gear for staying overnight, just in case I found a missing hiker or had an injury myself. This time, I also packed my drone to check under waterfalls, a crucial area where a body could potentially be found. I also carried a satellite communicator in reach, but it's important to remember it may not work well in narrow gorges or deep forests where there isn't enough open sky.
Never go creeks.
This case, like so many others, highlight two critical mistakes that hikers often make, especially in mountains like Taiwan's. First, never underestimate the mountains by relying on your good navigation sense and neglecting GPS technology. Always carry one GPS device with offline maps and know how to use it. For advanced hikers, I even suggest carrying two GPS devices. For instance, a watch that's waterproof and has much longer battery life. Second, if you are truly unable to find your original trail, never descend down in unknown terrain. Your best chance is to stay put, conserve energy, focus on temperature management overnight, and wait for organized search and rescue, especially if you've shared your location and announced you need help. Your chances dramatically improve. After hours of intense searching, navigating incredibly difficult terrain, I finally climbed up a side creek, hoping to catch a bit of a phone signal. That's when I received a message from my wife. It said Mr. Huang had been found. Then a second message came in, even more shocking. He had managed to get out of mountain on his own, emerging down in Mayaoli, where he actually borrowed a phone from a confused hiker. An ambulance and SAR team immediately came to assist him there. Mr. Huang was incredibly lucky. He made these two critical mistakes, but by some miracle, he survived and managed to get himself out.
So good news.
From all cases of missing hikers I searched, he is only the second person to get out by himself.
I go slowly.
The majority of lost people are found disabled or dead in creeks. But what's worse, many hikers are still missing and probably will never be found in the deep mountains of Taiwan. For those interested, there are links to more articles about GPS navigation and safety in the video description. As Mr. Huang himself later described, these 3 days were incredibly tough and dangerous. He realized that if he had made just one wrong move or sustained a serious injury, he would have been buried on the spot and impossible to be found. He walked past no one had or likely ever will. And while he was fighting for his life, his family and friends were under incredible stress and seek any possible help, desperately hoping. Always study before your hike, always prioritize safety, and I can only suggest you use common GPS technology. You never know when things go wrong.
The rubber slippers, it's not so good idea.
Be safe out there, and remember, your safety is your responsibility.